Former UN Ambassador John Bolton, American Enterprise Institute Senior Fellow, Fox Business contributor. Great to have you here.
Glad to be here.
I cannot believe this guy. He's emulating what he did in May, following President Trump around instead of apologizing, attacking the president.
Yeah. Look, he doesn't know what to do with himself now that he's no longer president.
Could I send him a few suggestions?
Yeah, I'm sure we could. He's engaged in what it appears the Mueller investigation wants to go after the Trump administration on, a violation of the famous Logan Act, conducting his own foreign policy overseas, no less. I mean, this is another demonstration of the hypocrisy of what we're facing in Washington.
This is subversion. This is beyond just ignorance. It's beyond opposition. It's beyond resistance. This is outright subversion. There has never been a president who has ever done this to his predecessor in American history.
Well, I think it's part and parcel of the complete unwillingness of the opposition to acknowledge they lost the election. They're still unable to process it.
But why do we keep carrying that around? I mean, John, what I'm asking is, who gives a damn what they acknowledge? It is the reality. If they refuse to recognize reality, then let them go get medication, treatment, whatever is required. But let's move the republic ahead.
Well, that's what we should do.
And that's what President Trump is doing.
They're trying to prove the administration is illegitimate, and
illegitimate.
That's what you can say.
They are the ones who are. I mean, this Leandra English at the Consumer.
As the Wall Street Journal said, this is the first attempted coup d'état in American history. I mean, it's a mini coup d'état, but it goes right along with the idea that they should have won the election.
Transfer of power is not minor.
Yeah, and one recalls the famous scene in the debate where I think it was Chris Wallace asked both candidates, "If you lose, will you accept the result?"
Don't tell me. Did Hillary lie?
Well, look, remember William Safire, the great columnist for the New York Times, who 20 years ago called Hillary a congenital liar. 20 years ago.
Yeah, and I think that it was a persuasive case he made, as usual, when Bill got a hold of the facts and the language. But this should not be a surprise to anyone. Yet the national media has moved to a different place. The national media has become not only left-wing, but it's a closed feedback loop. And it is broadcasting only to those who support one point of view, and that is the leftist view. And the Clintons, I think it's immaterial whether it's the Clintons, although they play a major role in it, or any other part of the left.
Yeah. Well, I think the real threat to the Trump administration remains the Mueller investigation. Dianne Feinstein gave away the story yesterday, not that it wasn't obvious that they're seeking an obstruction of justice conspiracy here.
But that's such a ridiculous charge. It's because they've exhausted the illegitimacy charge. The Russian collusion has been rejected. All they have left is obstruction of justice.
But it's dangerous for this reason.
Because Mueller's in the special counsel.
What they've got here is they've created a category of crimes that only exist because of the investigation. Lying to the FBI, perjury, subornation of perjury, destruction or alteration of documents or other evidence, obstruction of justice itself. They could indict people for those crimes if they were investigating their Christmas card list.
If Speaker Ryan